Welcome to this drum talk, and today we're going to talk about tuning Black Beauty or any Ludwig Supraphonic snare drum. There's some tuning tricks I use. Now, drum tuning is not a mystery. There's about 1 billion videos out on YouTube about drum tuning. So I really hesitated to bring this up to my subs and talk about this topic, but I had a couple questions about it for Ask Earl Anything, and I thought this might be a good time to show you a couple tricks, because I have 2 Black Beauties and 1 Acrolite. Okay, my Acrolite's got a Diecast hoop on it, but my Black Beauties both have triple flange hoops. Now, I've had Diecast hoops on my 5x14 Black Beauty, and I'm thinking about putting a Diecast hoop on my 6.5x14 Black Beauty, but I haven't done it yet. So with that said, let's talk about some ways to tune this. Now, a lot of guys think you don't use any muffling. That's not true. I do use muffling. My favorite muffling is moon gels, and my other favorite muffling is a good old zero ring. And when you put a zero ring on a snare drum, so this is wide open. Zero ring on a snare drum, you automatically get it in the zone for recording. Now, I'm talking primarily about recording, and when we talk about, snare drums and we talk about tuning a snare drum, a live gig might be a little different. But for me, I always want that nasty overtones that come off of the drum out of the picture. And one of the easiest ways to do that is the good old zero ring, which you can easily make a zero ring out of an old drum head. This is out of an old 14-inch drum head, coated ambassador. You cut it into a circle, then you cut the circle in the middle, leave about 1 inch. You can make them smaller, thinner, thicker. You can go out and buy a big fat snare drum. You can go out and buy zero rings by Noble Cooley. You can go out and buy similar products from Evans and Remo, probably. The original one was called a Ritchie ring, if you wanted to buy them. I've made them for years, so I rarely buy them. I have a big fat snare drum, the one that's completely covers the drum. It's okay. I'm not an endorser of big fat snare drums, but it's a useful tool once in a while on certain gigs. Now, but how about if you want to get that dead snare drum sound and you don't have a zero ring and you don't even have moon gels? Because moon gels are another item that when you put a couple moon gels on something, it dries it up. Instant dry. So this live snare drum right here, it cut all those overtones out. So there's a trick on Black Beauties or any Supraphonic snare drum that will get you that deader snare drum sound. And it's very simple. If you've got a relatively even tuning, and I didn't go through this drum, I didn't put a new head on it. I didn't get into my bottom head to the top head relationship or any of that stuff. But if you've got a drum in this ballpark and you want to get that moon gel sound without putting moon gels on it, the easiest way to do it is to take the lug that is across from where you're hitting the drum. So for me, it's the lug right next to my throw off here. I'm going to go right across, and I basically detune this lug. And sometimes I'll detune 2 lugs. See, I got more. Now, when you make it lower pitch, you get that fat thing, sometimes what you want to do is loosen the snares. Okay? So now if you add the moon gel, if we add the zero ring, all right, so I just showed you my little couple tuning tricks to get this drum really quick into this zone. It works on either drum, by the way. So let's try my 5x14 Black Beauty. All right. So this is the Black Beauty. It's a little bit up-pitched right now. My 5x14 Black Beauty that I love to play. I usually use it with the concert tom. I use it with all my drums. This drum is just a beautiful drum. By the way, the 5x14 Black Beauty was one of the drums that Jeff Porcaro used to use a lot of. There's an interview with Paul Jameson. He's talking about this being one of his favorite drums. He used on a lot of records. So it's got a certain vibe to it. So this is wide open, no muffling. Now I do use Remo control sound coated heads. This is not an Emperor X, neither was the other one. It's a control sound, black dot on the bottom, coated head. I've been using this for years. Guys are always constantly asking me to change this head out. I find that with these heads, I get about almost a year out of the drums. It works pretty well. So, and I like to get the brushed look on it and everything. So this is kind of dirty, this drum. It looks kind of dirty to you over here. But anyhow, let's listen to it. So, same thing, put a little moonshine. I use a little half piece on this one, and I use a full piece over on the other side, and I get that dead thing real quick. So, let's see. See if this is down at all. Nope, not down. These are completely up. Let's listen to it with the zero ring. Okay, all different vibes, different things. Let's try the Ludwig trick, the Ludwig Supraphonic trick. I'm going to do this, download the lug across. All right. By the way, on this particular snare drum, I originally had a P85 on this snare drum. And then I bought a Millennial throw-off, a P86 Millennial, and then one of those screws got lost, and I ended up switching it over to the Bennett R4 that's designed to go on beaded snare drums. So I love this throw-off, by the way. All right, so let's do the down lug tuning. One lug, it gets there. So, that's the one lug trick. One lug snare tuning. It's just another way of looking at how you tune a snare drum. Now let me show you one other thing. I'll show you the Acrolite with the Diecast rim. And the reason I'm going to do this, I'm going to show you that I don't think it's going to work on the Diecast rim. So that's my impression of that one. So let's take that down. Now, I've got the this is the sound of this drum, by the way. Permanent zero ring. So this drum has got a coated ambassador on it too, by the way. So this has got the taped on zero ring. I hesitate to take this off because I've had it like this for a good year. Very thin, maybe half-inch zero ring. Anyhow, let's see what happens when I detune. Actually, let's detune the lug completely. Completely ashed it. Not a whole heck of a lot of change, if you ask me. Let's go put it back to where it was. maybe a little bit up. So I don't think you're going to get the same effect with the Diecast, even if you take the zero ring off. I don't want to mess with this. I just tuned it up a little bit too far. Tune it back. Anyhow, all that to say is that one lug trick works pretty well on triple flange hoops. I don't think you're going to get what you want out of it on a Diecast, but you might. You never know. I naturally learned this trick with a Yamaha snare drum. I have a Yamaha Steve Jordan that I detuned, and it always ends up being the lug right next to me. Now, you don't really want this lug to detune, by the way. It's better to have it detune across, because I like to have a little bit of tension on that, but on that Steve Jordan drum, I would constantly knock it out of tune, and all of a sudden be really fat. I start higher pitched, and then by the end of the set, it would be down to fat again. So I've had issues with keeping that sucker in tune. I guess I got to get some lug locks or something like that. But anyhow, just some thoughts about Supraphonics, Black Beauties, the one lug detune fat snare drum technique. Try it. Have fun with it. Leave comments. Please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Bye.